Ahoy sailors, and welcome back to the NXT Back to the Future podcast, episode 58. My name is David Simmons, and I am joined as ever by the one and only, the Sunderland beating, Wigan kebab eating, trailblazing, eyebrow raising, gonna head to Newcastle, no ifs, whens or maybes, gonna overhype Joe Linton and make some Alan Shearer babies. It's Mr. Adam Howells.
Mate, when will you accept that Joe Linton is the new Patrick Vieira? Just fucking accept it.
Adam, start again.
No, I'm not starting again.
He's shit.
Mate, he is.
But how are you, my friend?
All I'm going to say is, it's down to Kieran Clark.
Adam, you can't even
for
say
getting
it.
sent off against Norwich.
You
and
can't even say it
Joe
against
Linton is the best box-to-box midfielder in the world.
You can't say it in jest. He's rubbish. But
He's not.
Can you believe? Do you know what, actually? I was flicking back today on the old network. And unbelievably, it feels like, you know, like we're doing the earlier episodes and you got to go on the network and you press 2014 and you got to go all the way back to the beginning. Yeah. But now we don't have to go, only have to go back like a third of the way. That's amazing. It feels like we're having, I don't know why, that's just hit me this episode, that it's like we're so far in to the year.
Until we get to 2015 and you have to go all the way back again.
Yeah,
but still.
But we're nearly in September and it's like, it feels like it's going to come out of nowhere because it feels like just a moment ago we were in April and now it's like August.
I feel like it's going to flow a lot better when we start to get like 4 pay-per-views a year as well. At the moment, because there's so much time in between.
Well, it is at that point now, really. This is the point now where it's going to start. I think at this point they weren't really anticipating. But obviously we're heading towards the second takeover. And then after the second takeover is when they sort of become consistent shows. But they haven't referred to this. They have referred to it as a takeover, but they've not referred to it as a takeover. If that makes sense.
Yeah, they have.
They've sort of said it's a network special, haven't they, as well as a takeover. It's
like the way they do these like premium live events now. They're not pay-per-views. And I know the whole outdated thing of like pay-per-view buying is pretty much dead because most people who watch it will watch it through the network or some subscription service.
Yes,
but still.
But even so, you know, I can understand that because the pay-per-views, like pay-per-view is you buy it and then you watch it. Like this is included. They are premium live events. I know. But yeah, with this, they don't seem to be fully on board yet with the fact that these are NXT takeovers. They got sort of just NXT takeovers are special shows. They're not like a consistent feature.
We haven't got any on the NXT 2.0 yet, have we? Like they've not had like I said, they're not takeovers now, but we've only had one so far, haven't we?
We've only had one. Yeah.
We've had like specials.
Stand and Deliver is WrestleMania weekend.
Stand and Deliver.
Yeah,
that's going to be a thing that is going to be going forward, isn't it? Because it's the second time they've done Stand and Deliver.
Yes. They also did Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, but they do those as like they also did specials week to week rather than having. What did they have this week?
Roadblock.
Yeah, Roadblock.
Yeah, I don't know. The dictionary is going to have to invent some new words because at this rate, we're going to end up with the same sort of like, you know, it'll be 5 years' time, it'll be NXT 2.0, SmackDown.
I'm just going to put it out there because I spoke to Dave about it this week, about obviously what happened at Roadblock. Because, you know, I think everyone in the wrestling world is shocked that Dolph Ziggler managed to finally... He's doing the reverse timeline. He's gone from winning big championships to... I say big champ, saying the NXT isn't a big championship. It is, but, you know, in WWE terms, it's...
He's gone from winning the world title to the NXT title, rather than winning the NXT title to the world title.
Exactly. My theory, and it probably isn't going to happen this way, is they use this as a way of getting Bron Breakker onto the WrestleMania card, and you have Ziggler versus Bron on one of the Mania nights.
I liked that idea, I have to say. I liked that idea.
Probably wrong. It'll probably be disproved next week on TV, but we'll wait and see.
Who knows?
Who knows?
It looks like he's coming to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how he does that. But, time to go all the way back, my friend, because it's August the 14th, 2014. It's a good 7.5 years ago, well, nearly 8 years ago. We're going to start with a throwback to NXT TakeOver. We see how Tyler Breeze has become the number one contender ahead of this week's monumental NXT title match against Neville. 3 months in the making. We see all of the things Neville has been put through by the cunning number one contender and his injury woes whilst waiting for the match. But never mind all of that, Adam, because here comes Bull Dempsey. He's teaming with his new partner, Mojo Rawley, against the Vaudevillains to start off this tag team tournament. This Vaudevillain's entrance is very good.
It's incredible. It's brilliant.
There's a lot of unique USP, sort of unique selling point in this, isn't there?
Yeah.
And actually, I think that makes them stand out because they're a team that, you're not really going to see this on Raw or SmackDown. And a lot of these people, they are, you can see that sort of stuff on Raw and SmackDown, whereas this presentation, this sort of team, this sort of style doesn't exist on the main roster at this point.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it'll draw the audience in, but also you don't want every team, and this is where NXT started to sort of fail towards the end of the era of what was it, CWC?
The Cruiserweight Classic?
No, not the Cruiserweight Classic, you twat. What was it after their full
Capital
sale?
Wrestling Centre.
Yes. Everyone had a very similar entrance and everyone had very similar music and dress and style, and everyone just blended into one and no one stood out as being special.
Yeah.
Whereas this tag team is undeniably
Different.
different, and even though they're not the title holders, they are a focal point of the division at this point.
Yeah. Early on, Mojo is grounded. He's unable to find his rhythm against English, who has him in the opposing corner. Bull tags in and takes complete control. He's being framed as a bit of a killer. He's frustrated after Mojo tags himself back in and loses control again. Rolling senton and a senton bomb for the win, and Mojo is undeniably raging. Mojo gets his ass handed to him by Bull, who has seemingly turned face as he hits another bulldozer whilst his killer theme plays in the background. I say seemingly turned face because the crowd is literally going fucking mental for him.
Bull attacks him after the bell, and I'm typing this before it's even happened because it's so obvious, like the way they were going down this.
But of course, because it's Mojo's fault. It's not Bull's fault. It's Mojo's fault.
I mean, Bull did warn him.
Precisely. Now you are on board. I sound
no.
like Byron Saxton.
Don't fucking accuse me of being on board with Bull Dempsey.
Bull warned him, and he lost. So now he has to feel the wrath of Bull Dempsey.
Mojo's lost an awful lot, hasn't he, since TakeOver?
Good. Mojo, do you know what? Mojo is a bit of an odd one.
Because you said last time that he didn't, the reason he didn't make it on the main roster, in his interview, that he said, was that he was never involved in, anything other than a squash match.
He's never had much in-ring experience. Even though he wrestles a lot, he only wrestles small segments of matches. He doesn't wrestle like an actual match.
This is like the Braun Strowman effect you were talking about.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
He has no in-ring experience over 3 minutes.
Yeah. Which is great to start off with. And we had the same thing with Big E. God bless Big E this week, by the way. Fuck me. Breaking his neck. Hopefully the pop is monumental when he comes back.
You didn't actually see the suplex, did you?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it was... it's not nice.
Look, he's broken his neck. I can't imagine it's nice.
Although I have to say, even though he has broken his neck, the actual... From what I think, he can move all his fingers still. He's not paralysed at the moment or anything like that, which is good. And also the fact that he's probably a massive man with a massive neck and is incredibly strong has probably saved him.
Yeah.
And actually, he'll probably recover quite quick. He's not. Hopefully, he won't have a year out or 9 months out.
You have to think of the people who've done it in more recent memory, Ciampa. Edge has come back from it, having a broken neck. So there's ways of being able to rehab that, but obviously they're not going to rush him back. He's going to be out for probably the best part of a year at least.
Actually, you say that, but there is no paralysis. There is no... he's still able to move. There is no ligament damage. There's no spinal cord damage. He doesn't need surgery. So even though it is a broken neck, it's not it's not like a break. It's more like a very, 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 very serious, neck injury. But actually, he hasn't broken his neck. He doesn't need surgery. And hopefully he can just take his time and come back. But there shouldn't be a major, 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 major thing.
You'd hope not.
When people think, broken necks, you think Austin, Angle, and they all need fusion surgery. The neck is actually broken. They've got spinal.
He's not needed fusion.
He hasn't got any of that stuff. He just has a very serious neck injury. but a very serious neck injury compared to like an actual break in his neck. Like Tyson Kidd, I actually broke his neck. Like he had like a displacement. Like Big E doesn't have a displacement. He just has like an ultra serious like stinger, hopefully. Which obviously is still very bad, but it shouldn't have the impact on his career that like a proper broken neck would have. I say proper broken neck as in, you know, he is seriously injured, but he's not, you know, that massive thing of not being able to walk and having no movement. That isn't there, thankfully. He said that on Twitter, which is a massive relief.
Yeah, the fact he's obviously, you know, speaking and he doesn't look like he's in pain while doing it. You know, drugs are a wonderful thing, though. Modern medicine is incredible.
Do you know what, though? That's just Big E, isn't it? He's just one of those guys who's just happy.
Yeah. I mean, they won't rush him back anyway, because I think they'll want the right moment to bring him back.
For sure.
And, you know, rushing anyone back from injury just doesn't work well. You know, look at Michael Owen for the World Cup. It just didn't happen.
Precisely. But there's only 9 months to the Royal Rumble. 10 months.
True.
Do you know what? As much as I hate to say it, because obviously breaking your neck is never a good thing, but in terms of like E, it might be a good thing for him. Like in terms of his comeback, you know, he might come back on. It was like when Edge broke his neck, and Edge was big at the time, and then broke his neck and came back, and he was fucking massive. And even though it did take time off his career, it might allow him to just go to, as weird as it sounds, might just allow him to go to the next level. Which is really, really, really weird. I think
because people then clamour for you and they want you to come back, and it's always like, oh, is he going to come back? Yeah. And it's almost like, not false memory, but like you remember them as big, but possibly not as big as they were. Like, CM Punk is the big, probably, obviously not through injury, but he had so much time away, and you could watch all his old stuff, and you could see how he was, like, say, it's a bit different to Big E because he was.
Well, he's not injured, is he?
I know, but I mean, like, time away in general.
Edge is the big example.
Yeah.
Edge is the big example.
Yeah.
And Edge came back and he was a different level. And hopefully it'll be the same for E. He
I
deserves
hope
to come
so.
back.
Hopefully it's just a reset and he can come back and smash everyone.
Fingers crossed. We stand.
Who do you think you are?
I'm Bayley.
You honestly think that you're gonna be the next NXT Women's Champion before me? Before me. What you need to do is go back to La La Land and keep playing with your little inflatable friends.
Sasha, I don't know what the problem is. It's not my fault that you got dumped by Summer Rae and your best friend, Charlotte. Tonight, as much as you want to hug, it's not gonna be from me.
Yeah, because you're never gonna touch me. I'm next in line. I'm the next women's champion, and you're gonna find that out tonight.
These two, of course, have good chemistry, and this is very short, but also very sweet. Who's going to become the women's champion first? The road to the championship begins tonight.
We have an advert for Slam City here. I feel like this is something we could do on Patreon.
Slam City
for Patreon.
It's on the network.
Exactly, so we could do it for Patreon.
What was that shit cartoon? They had a really funny like cartoon. It was like an adult swim like version of WWE. It was hilarious.
Okay, I don't know this.
It was, oh my god, it was so funny. It's like an adult version of Slam City. It was fucking well funny. Like, they're all out playing baseball, and then The Rock comes in, he runs over the Big Show in this car, and he gets out, and he's like, if you smell, they're like, oh, children, Camp WWE, that's what it was called.
Camp WWE?
He gets out of this car, and he's like,
I remember seeing
if you smell, you are a jabroni. And it's like a guy who's not The Rock, pretending to be The Rock. It's very, very funny. It's shit, but it's very funny. And I quite love laughing at that. Do you know, Adam, it's time to nut up or shut up, because SummerSlam is coming and Brock Lesnar is chasing the current WWE champion, Jonathan Cena.
Big Match John.
Big Match John.
The man who will never give up.
Maggle, when the lights are on bright, there's nobody better than John Cena.
Was that JBL by any chance?
Of course it was.
Yeah, that sounds like a very JBL commentary.
Tom, Byron and Renee are on the desk. They discuss the 3-month in the making NXT title defence happening tonight. Bayley vs Sasha, though, is next for the number 1 contendership for the women's title. Who's going to be next in line for a women's title shot? That is the question. The match starts off with both women doing their thing. Nice exchange of pins and they switch control back and forth. Sasha does grow frustrated massively when she can't keep Bayley down. Sasha repeatedly tries to run away and finally escapes the ring as the referee counts. Bayley tries to go and get Sasha, but she gets flung backwards and Sasha is in control heading into the break. Adam, do you want to know why they're called Total Divas? Well, on the WWE Network, you can find out. Is it me? Or is the quality of this show, the recording, just way better? It feels like it's super duper clear.
Yeah, it's definitely stepped up. And just the match quality in general has gone up. I mean, these two at one point, they have a 2-count pin fest. It's the only way I can describe it.
2-minute match.
It's not boring. It's, it's back and forth. These two are really standing out. I mean, I feel like Sasha is finally differentiating herself from the BFF version of Sasha.
Yeah, these two are elevating.
Starting to be the boss.
They are
proper.
They are elevating into the main event here. And this is why it's nice to see both of these actually in this match for the number 1 contendership for the women's title. I think actually that sort of stuff's quite nice because I think both of them are now at the point where they need to go forward, and we'll discuss more about that because there's a match in the next episode which encapsulates now is the time to push both of these women.
Yeah.
Bow and arrow submission by Sasha before she aggressively smashes Bayley's face into the mat. These two have looked far better this match, 2 different wrestlers, especially Sasha. Bayley fights out of a submission and fires up with elbows, but Sasha hits a step-up knee, but then gets railed with a lariat. Both women down, but they get back to their feet. Bayley to belly, but a slap by Sasha before kicks in the corner. Another knee to the midsection this time as Bayley crumples outside of the ring. She's doubled over in pain outside, but Sasha doesn't back away and throws her back in. The crowd gets on Sasha with Sasha's ratchet chants, and Bayley nearly rolls her up. Super counter for the Bayley to belly by Sasha before she hits a backstabber and locks in the bank statement, but Bayley rolls her into a pin for a 3 and is the new number 1 contender. I really liked this.
This was a great match.
Shows there's a lot more to go with these two as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many levels they step up, isn't it, really?
Yeah, considering how many matches they regularly have, probably a match a month.
Yeah.
On NXT. To be honest, that's not a bad thing, because every match is brilliant. I always have to apologise for the lack of details in my notes when these two wrestle, because they're brilliant and I love the story.
Yes. And for you as well, this podcast is about you seeing these people grow. These are all people that you've seen for a long time. Yeah. You haven't seen at this level, and actually maybe because we've done so many episodes that sort of gets lost in the actual message of the podcast, but this is for you to see those people that you love now in their infancy, and sort of I'm really interested to see what you think of these two at this point compared to where they're going. I mean, obviously we both agree Bayley at this point was probably the better wrestler, but in terms of actual growth, Sasha is week by week becoming much better.
She's come on leaps and bounds. It's absolutely brilliant. What I would say as well is I think this is only the second. This is the first or second time, I'm not quite sure, where Sasha has used the backstabber rolling into the bank statement.
Yeah.
Is it the first or second?
It's the second.
Second, yeah. That is such a great signature move to sort of get yourself to the end of a match. And also that, let the audience know that the finish is possibly going to be there.
Yeah.
But it's one of those ones that can be kicked out of, and obviously Bayley was able to roll up in this match, but other times she won't be able to.
And the other thing that I love in this match, you see them bringing in bits of offense that they haven't done up to this point. Like Sasha does the step-up knee, which she does quite a lot.
Yeah.
She does that in every match now, whereas this is the first time she's used it in this match that I can remember. And it's stuff like that. Like Bayley to belly, obviously, is being established as a finisher, but it's a bloody good finisher. It's one of those, I think, that is good because you can sort of hit it out of nowhere. And I think you can clearly see that the emphasis they put on talent in NXT is to build a finisher, get a set of moves, become comfortable, and build a character. And actually, these two embody that completely, because where Bayley started off compared to just where she is now, she's sort of halfway towards the the Bayley character, and Sasha's halfway towards like the full boss character.
I'd say Sasha's probably further along in that respect.
I'll see how you feel about that in about 3 months' time.
Okay.
It'd be interesting to see how you feel about that in 3 months' time.
That's fine. It's nice though to have matches where we can talk about actually the wrestling involved rather than the shit commentary in the background. That's quite refreshing.
Not awful on these shows.
No, it's not been. But I mean, like for stuff.
It's not great. It's not awful.
No, but I'm saying for stuff we've watched in the past.
Yeah.
Where it was like, you know.
Oh yeah, for
like,
sure.
You know,
oh yeah.
The fact, I think the biggest thing that's actually helped commentary is separating Regal from Renee.
Bacon pants.
That's it, mate.
Dreadful.
I thought you were going to like make a Home of the Whopper fucking joke there.
Mate, it's classic.
It is classic. It's almost like your fucking B&Q decking joke.
Look, another classic, but there'll come a time. Bayley meets Charlotte on the stage, who raises her hand and has a bit of a chocolata. What a match we've got on our hands. Kalisto and Sin Cara are out for action next. The Lucha Chants are out in force. They're facing Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake, who have terrible music.
Awful music, but from what I know, they are a...
Oh my god, what is that? Is that supposed to actually be music?
I don't know.
It's dreadful.
Buddy's got the signature Buddy shorts on.
Secret no more, mate.
Secret no
he's
more.
He's coming to the fore on this podcast.
That's it. And also, the fact he's tagging with Wesley Blake, you know, we sort of, well, I know roughly that they are a decent team in the future. Ones to watch on this podcast,
Ones to watch.
You would say.
Yeah. And actually, this match, I loved this match.
Yeah.
Loved it. Lightning tags and action by these four. Kalisto and Cara do some really nice double team moves before Murphy catches Kalisto with right hand and stops him tagging out until he goes through the legs and makes a tag. Sin Cara comes in, beautiful kick and a springboard back elbow. Unreal strength as he rolls through and deadlifts Murphy, who's hit with a missile dropkick whilst being held in the air, and a Salita del Sol for the win. Really, really, really good. And even though that description doesn't really sound like a lot, if you actually watch the match and the things that they do and the pace of it, it's absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I actually couldn't keep up writing my notes, which actually is probably the first time it's happened on this podcast.
Yeah, I haven't got a lot of notes for this. I just know that the most of it is just like a showcase for Sin Cara and Kalisto.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
But Buddy Murphy's great in this match.
Yeah. He's
great.
That lucha style, again, you've got, you know, the Vaudevillains, who are a very...
They're like an old school...
Different tag team. Old school, the old worldy, you know, calisthenics, like strongman tag team that they're being portrayed at. You have Sin Cara and Kalisto, who are like high-flying luchadors.
Good lucha things.
Good lucha things being done here. You have a variation of tag teams now.
Yeah. You've got a technical tag team in the mechanics. You've got sort of like a new age quick style in Murphy and Blake and Murphy.
You've got the big motherfuckers that currently have the tag team titles.
You've got
a bit of everything.
You do.
And this calls into question the women's division a little bit.
And you've got a comedy tag team in Enzo and Cass.
Yes. Whereas the tag team division has gone up and raised its game, the women's division has just dramatically gone down. Or has the women's division actually just stayed at the same level and we've not noticed it?
Has it plateaued though, or has everyone else in the division plateaued, but there's 4 women who are on the Ascension? Everyone else just isn't on that level. Like your Alexa Bliss.
Well, to be fair, the Ascension deserve it. They've had the titles for so they deserve to have the women as well.
True.
Sorry, that was poor.
But your Alexa Blisses of the world aren't going to get anywhere, really, here. Because you've got 4 women who are so good. The only way those 4 women will get better is by wrestling each other. And actually, everyone else misses out because of that. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you had to... I'm changing my opinion as we talk about this because obviously, having a discussion, you tend to do that. So actually what I think is, instead of like the women's division going down and the tag team division going up, you're right in saying that the women's division has just stayed the same because you only ever have, say, 4 women who are really capable at the moment in the division. So the 4 tend to, as you say, tag with each other. Whether like, you know, when we started off, we had Paige, Emma and Natalia, who was dropping down, and Alicia Fox, having variations of those 4 women.
Layla appeared a few times.
Yeah, Layla.
Audrey Marie.
Yeah. Eva Marie.
Eva Marie's been on once. So
she's been on once.
She probably doesn't count.
She doesn't count. But
Alexa.
But now, obviously, yeah.
Alexa's in quite a lot.
Yeah, she's in quite a lot, but she's not one of those, like, say, the 4 mainstays who actually you realistically think could win a title or win a major match, whereas now you've got Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha.
Yeah, and even though Becky's not
she's not being positioned yet.
Yeah.
You can easily tell that when she wrestles the others, she is, like, by far in that group.
She's got the most experience.
Yeah, compared to an Alexa Bliss.
And this is your issue.
To
you can't
anyone else.
You've got Charlotte as a champion as well. You can't have Charlotte facing people like Alexa Bliss because actually she doesn't have enough experience to lead it. Alexa doesn't have enough experience to lead it. And that's why she consistently has to face your experienced people in your Beckys and your Baileys in order to get better. And actually, as I say, again, it's those women with no experience get left at the wayside because Charlotte is the one who's getting all of those opportunities because she has to get matches under her belt.
Yeah.
Someone comes along in a couple of weeks' time who also, you know, they got on TV in a different way, and actually that's sort of what everyone else has to do to get on TV because the actual wrestling portion of it is so, with those 4 women, it's, you know, it is what it is.
Marcus Louis, Sylvester Lefort, you asked for this time. What's on your mind?
Exactly. You see, this tournament without Sylvester Lefort and Marcus Louis, the Legionnaires, is nothing but a sham.
Especially when we see that Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy did qualify for the semi-final. Is that a joke? All they do is run around calling everybody soft. Well, if you ask us, if you ask the Legionnaires, these two are just a little... Comme ci, comme ça.
But don't worry, Sylvester and I, we are going to franchise this little tournament.
Oh oui, toi t'as une idée.
Oh oui, j'ai un plan. Je t'en parle après. On y va ou quoi? Allez, on y va.
These two are hilarious. Comme ci, comme ça. We need one of those France skin-tight tank tops. It is nearly your birthday after all.
Oh, for fuck's sake, no. 1,000 times no.
I'd love to see you in a skin-tight France top. You'd look great.
Mate, just no. It's not happening. It's just, you know.
Wait, you think it's not?
I hope not.
I've got you and Sam matching ones.
Oh yeah, you can definitely see me and Sam wearing them.
The NXT title's up next. Here comes Tyler, who looks to bring in the era of gorgeousness. Neville is out next, and this should be very good. We get the official ring introductions, and off we go. Breeze has the weight advantage by over £10, which is the NWA title. And he's also slightly taller, but can he make these advantages count? Early on, Neville is on the back foot, but Tyson Kidd strolls out to stand on the announce table. We get a promo for the Paul Heyman documentary.
I need to watch that.
I have it on Blu-ray if you would like it.
Yes, I would. I'd very much like to see that. I love Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is a genius of our time.
There is a
great wrestling circle.
There is a great bit in it where he talks about when he used to be like a club promoter when he was like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
And I think he ended up like, he ended up being a club promoter, but at the time he was like a club photographer. He used to ask if he'd come and take photos at a nightclub because it would get him access to people. And Boy George appeared one night, and Boy George had like overdosed on drugs. And then like Heyman was like, we just need you to go on stage. So he like threw him on stage, even though he was like whiteying everywhere, and actually like no one realised. Yeah. And he was like, it got me like so much good publicity because they were really pleased that I put him on stage. And I was like, fuck's sake, he's talking about Boy George overdosing on drugs. It's the most random WWE DVD ever. But I'll give it you, it is really good. Once all my stuff comes out of storage.
Yeah, on a separate note, Dave hopefully will be moving soon, as you've actually got a day, and it can't come quick enough because I've currently got pins and needles sat on the floor.
You haven't even got your legs crossed either.
Mate, it's fucking embarrassing. I can't sit with my legs crossed. I can't. It's
Mate,
not comfortable.
I've got bloody... I haven't got carpet floors, so...
Have you not? No, but you'll have a table and chairs, so that'll be fine.
Fucking won't.
Well,
You've got a table and chairs.
yeah, but we can't record downstairs because it's too echoey.
There's no difference in my place. Just sat back and watching this, really, and I have to say it is intriguing to see both men unable to take advantage. Breeze strikes with a dropkick out of midair for a 2. Brilliant as Breeze hangs on to control of the match. Forearm shot by Neville, strikes by Breeze, beautiful corner bulldog, but super kick by Neville for a 2. So close to a 3 count.
Yeah.
Neville tries to ascend the ropes, but is stopped. Both men hover on the top rope. Breeze won't let go, but there's a sunset bomb off the top by Neville for a 2. Again on the top rope, but Breeze rolls away and catches an elbow. Tornado DDT by Breeze, and this is an unbelievable sell.
Oh, it's great.
He tornado DDTs him, and he sort of like... his feet are planted, and then he sort of like comes up. Like, it's unbelievable the way he does it. He comes up, like, and his whole body sort of just like feet first, and then he goes whoa, and comes forward, and then just drops. Because
of the impact. He's
amazing
sold
sell.
so well.
Amazing sell. We'll have to try and post it on Twitter. It's that good.
Yeah.
Seriously good. Unreal selling. This is awesome chants erupt as Breeze wonders how Neville is still alive in the match. Back elbow attempt, but Neville catches him by the waist. Neville lands on his feet off of German suplex attempt, and unbelievably, Breeze goes into the ropes for a snap German and a 2 count. They deliver rights, exhausted, at each other. Breeze collapses out of the ring and a suicide dive as both men are down. Tyson Kidd approaches the ring. He stood at the barricade as the crowd chants no, they don't want to see this end with a false finish. Neville beheads Kidd with a super kick to massive yes chants, and they're back in the ring. Head kick from the apron by Neville, who climbs the ropes, but Kidd knocks him off and the bell goes. Kidd swings lefts and rights, but Breeze pulls him off, screams at him and takes him down, and Kidd and Breeze are now off for a brawl. Chaos ensues as Neville is still down. Kidd takes advantage as the fresh man, but Breeze continues to fight back. Neville is back into it and he decides to beat up both men. There's a lot of insanity going on in the ring as the heels beat up Neville, but here comes Sami Zayn. Sami erupts on Breeze and clears the ring of both men before checking on his friend. Ole chants go up. Fatal 4-way match?
It's the beginnings of. I have to say, I was really enjoying this match.
Oh, it was very good.
Until Tyson Kidd showed up on commentary.
Echoes of the sound. Lightning all around.
That's not what it is. It sounds like that, though. I'm just making up lyrics here. Yeah, it's
echoes of the past and the future and the present is now. Can't wait till the break down. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I was really enjoying it until...
It was a really good match.
Until Tyson turned up. I mean, I enjoyed the bit afterwards, but once Tyson was there, you just knew something was going to happen.
Well, technically, he turned up like 3 minutes into it, so...
Yeah.
Don't say you didn't enjoy it after 3 minutes.
No, I just knew that something was going to happen. You just always have that feeling when someone turns up in someone else's matches for no reason.
Well, when you call the takeover event a Fatal 4-Way, it kind of gives it away.
Yeah, but they've not named it that yet, have they?
No, I suppose.
They've just referred to it as a takeover event. They've not said it's going to be takeover Fatal 4-Way yet.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Just some of these moves from Tyler and Neville were fantastic. I'm glad they didn't use the beauty shot.
That tornado DDT was awesome.
That was good. That they didn't use that and waste that. I don't want that to ever be wasted.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be used.
It doesn't deserve to be...
That should be used exclusively to win.
Yeah. If he's not going to win with it, don't have him use it. It's quite simple.
Precisely.
Unless you're going to have it as like a massive, massive moment, and you're going to have to really pick your moment for it. But WWE don't tend to do that. They tend to waste their finishes.
I completely agree.
But yeah, Sami was briefly holding the belt after he helped his friend Neville out. So you can see there's a bit of, the green-eyed monster is coming in a little bit.
A bit of a tease.
Yes, I love it.
But it was an amazing main event. I have to say it was a really good show.
Yeah, top to bottom, it was great.
Absolutely. Will the second episode be as good, Adam? That is the question.
Well, we can find out now, mate. That's it.
It's August the 21st, 2014, episode 112 from Full Sail University. There's an announcement from Triple H to come, but microphones in hand mean only one thing. It's Enzo and Cass. Enzo and Cass are great.
Yeah.
That's all that needs to be said. Enzo and Cass are great. And I think really, when it comes to your Enzo and Casses, they're just again, they're a sort of team, they don't have anything else like this in the company at the moment.
Yeah.
Especially Enzo, who's a fantastic talker top to bottom. He's very good.
Yeah, he's excellent. I mean, this week they are facing the Vaudevillains again. I think it's like the third time they've faced off each other now. But this is for the tag team tournament to decide who is going to go forward and get battered by the Ascension.
Yes. And actually, it's a bit of a strange one because I sort of wasn't expecting this match to go as it was. But yeah, as you say, it's the Vaudevillains versus Enzo and Cass. The Shoot promo legacy is alive and well.
Have you ever seen Simon Gotch buries Enzo Amore? I'm gathering you have, because it was pushed, for weeks.
Oh my god,
and weeks.
It's still on my YouTube.
Yeah.
And very quickly, the Vaudevillains advance. That's a wrap, which is the double senton finisher, and it's done. Really didn't expect that. It's a wrap, also not to be confused with that's a whap, because that's some wet ass pussy.
Yeah. Dave, you're disgusting. Yeah, Enzo and Cass walk away at this point, after the match, and they're blindsided by the Legionnaires. Sylvester Lefort decides to shave half of Enzo's beard off. Just half.
Emotional damage!
Yeah. Mate, how dare you just shave half a man's beard off? He's going to have to shave the lot off.
Well, is he? We'll find out later.
I don't think Flex Tape will be fixing that one.
No, it's not leaking water, is it?
No,
Flex Tape
no.
only fixes water. We all know that. Adam, behold the king of kings.
Doo-noo. Doo-noo.
On your knees, dog.
Doo-noo. Doo-noo.
Da-da-da.
Bow down to the king. Bow down to the
The
king.
king grinned red as he walked from the place where the traitor lost both his name and his face. Through the holes of the corridors, stinging in blood, he tasted his grin, and it tasted good. The king took his head, left it broken and dead. Da-da! Bow down to the king.
I'll tell you, it's been a while since we've done that one.
I know, but he's back. The king of kings, the COO. The game. I am the fucking game, JR.
The cerebral assassin.
There we go. He's back.
That's it. Suit on, no sledgehammer in hand. He's here for business.
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 He's traded out his dad's apple juice for whiskey. Vince McMahon, I'll give you a bottle of Jamboree for a tenner if you fucking get out now.
Beautiful. Oh, I love
He
it.
sucked on your Stephanie's tits. No, Jay.
I love an in-betweeners reference. I love it.
Oh, brilliant.
It is an exciting time right now in the WWE. And NXT has become the brand on the WWE Network. And with that in mind, I think it is time, once again, for NXT to take over. In 3 weeks, on Thursday, September 11th, live, right here, Full Sail University in the NXT Arena, NXT will take over the WWE Network with a 2-hour live special unlike anything you have ever seen before. The NXT Championship will be defended. The NXT Women's Championship will be defended. And the winners of the current tag team tournament will face the Ascension. On that night at NXT TakeOver, it will be overseen by the brand new NXT General Manager. That General Manager will be here next week live in person. And for anybody that loves NXT, if you love NXT right now, trust me, when that General Manager gets here, you will know that you have seen nothing yet.
We knew it was going to be big when we saw Triple H. How about it?
It's amazing.
So there we go. It's official, Adam. 3 weeks on September the 11th, because we have nothing else to think about on that day. NXT takes over the network, unlike anything we have seen before. All championships will be defended in a 2-hour spectacular, and the tournament winners face the Ascension. Oh, and also, there's a new general manager, and they'll be here next week. Blockbuster announcements by the game. So much to take in. Pure excitement. Let's go.
I noticed something on the network.
Go on.
Because obviously if you go segment to segment, you can go to different sections. So, Enzo cuts a promo, backstage, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's got on the network, Triple H announces a fatal 4-way and then doesn't announce a fatal 4-way. Ooh. So there we go. Little mistake from the WWE there.
Bastards.
I know.
We get a flashback to last week. Breeze is furious with Tyson Kidd, and he's going to find out he's not just a pretty face. Speaking of Kidd, he's out next for action to Big Booze, and he's facing the King of Cuteville, Tyler Breeze, who is steaming from last week. Both men talk shit, basically, and Breeze is immediately on top of Kidd early as he stomps him down in the corner. Kidd fights back, delivering rapid right forearms and a back elbow. Renee makes a great point of Kidd being very talented, but he's his own worst enemy. He needs to harness his anger correctly if he's going to succeed. We get a kick, spinning kick, low drop kick, and a sharpshooter attempt, but Breeze scrambles out of the ring. He's very frustrated and says he doesn't need this. He goes to leave and the referee waves it off. Kidd raises his hand in victory and celebrates like he's just won the main event of WrestleMania.
Exactly. He's wearing Tyler's jacket and doing the pose. Ultimate shithousery there.
Do you know what, though? Actually, I think this makes a lot of sense, because actually, it reaffirms Breeze as a heel after last week.
Yeah.
It gives Kidd momentum without hurting Breeze, really.
It gets him involved as well in the whole,
yes,
battle
for
the title.
All of it made a lot of sense, and him celebrating was just hilarious.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah. We get another promo for the Paul Heyman documentary that Dave does have on Blu-ray that he's going to lend me.
Absolutely. I won't forget about it, don't worry.
No.
We get a recap of the tag tournament as we see the brackets. And an advert for the Shield cracking. All three men are on their own paths now. Charlotte is ready for action. She'll be defending her title at TakeOver, which you've just found out. Charlotte smiles around and parades. Is she now a face or what?
I don't know. She wants to be, but the crowd thinks she's fucking boring.
This is weird.
Which is ridiculous.
Becky's out second to big applause. She's very popular already. She needs to be on TV. And this is the sort of thing we were talking about earlier that we can come back to. But actually, even though Becky's probably the one with the least exposure on TV, she's the most popular of the four.
Yeah.
And that's where, when I said earlier, you now need to pull the trigger with Bayley and with Sasha and elevate them to main event. You need to do that now, or else Becky's just going to overtake them both, and then you lose the momentum that you spent so long creating for those two. And almost, it feels like there's a bit of a hierarchy in terms of, like, obviously Charlotte is the champion, but then below Charlotte you should have Sasha and Bayley. Sasha is your big heel, Bayley is your big face, and they should both now ascend to main event level, but Becky's almost here to sort of crash through that, if that makes sense.
It's not her own fault, though.
It's not her own fault
Because she's very good.
Because she's
and
very
she's
good.
very popular. She has a reputation outside of the WWE.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, a bigger reputation than what Bayley and Sasha had.
Yeah.
Like, they obviously had wrestling experience, but they weren't anywhere near as well-travelled as what Becky was.
Of course, yeah. Becky's been to Japan and everything.
Exactly. So people knew her name far before she came to WWE.
Yeah.
So I do get what you're saying, and you're right in what you're saying, that, you know, Bayley and Sasha need pushing on now to that next level and to be almost like the second in command and fighting it out.
Yeah.
But you can't have...
But then what happens with Becky? Because Becky now feels like she's about to just go crash through everybody.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting.
Yeah.
Although Becky, the thing you can say about Becky is compared to the two, Becky hasn't found anything that works yet.
Yeah, she hasn't
got a character.
No.
This whole, like, now it's not the Irish dancing, it's the coming out, it's the headbanging, and that doesn't seem to be like a thing. Do you know what I mean? It all seems very forced. She needs to find something that is natural.
Yeah.
And that's probably the only thing holding her back here. If she had a character, if she came in, if she was like a Sami Zayn or a Kevin Owens or those sort of people that already have defined characters outside of WWE that work, or a Finn Balor, you know, those sort of people come in and they're able to just change nothing. Whereas actually, Becky needs to find what works here. And that's where she's sort of different. There's a Becky effing Lynch sign. She's the only person who gets these sort of signs weekly as well.
Yeah.
She's the only person who has, like, a group of people who really
it's
like
still
her.
not as amazing as the Dancing Emma sign.
Yes, the Dancing Emma sign was fantastic.
That will go down in the, you know...
Or the Luke Harper's Big Boot World Tour sign, which is also fantastic.
That was amazing.
Brilliant. Early, they jockey for position, and it's all relatively standard stuff. I don't know if you'd agree with this, but a lot happens without anything really happening.
Yeah.
There's a lot of grappling, a lot of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but you can get away with that when the two wrestlers do that in a certain style.
For sure. It's like watching Benoit and Angle. Benoit and Angle used to do a lot without, you know... Well, they used to do a lot, and it was a lot, but also you couldn't really say, like, oh, X, Y, Z's happened, because it was just, like, on the floor grappling.
Yeah.
And that sort of stuff's always really intriguing.
Yeah.
Becky definitely has the crowd firmly behind her. It'd be interesting to see where she ends up on this brand with the emergence of Sasha and Bayley, who arguably are in front of her as face and heel, respectively, at the top of the card.
Yeah.
Becky tries to kick it into gear. Streak of moves for a 2, but Charlotte just undercuts her with a bow down, and it's a 3. I don't like how Charlotte does that with the bow down. I think she needs a new finisher, because that move is so... I don't know, it comes out of nowhere, and you look like a bit of an idiot taking it, because you have to be on your knees looking the opposite way to her.
Yeah.
And I don't think she sets it up well enough to make it work. She sort of just hits it out.
She sets it up better in the future, but it's just right now, it's just a bit of a like, we know what's coming.
It's of a detriment to the people she wrestles because it makes them look like idiots.
And again, this is what a beauty shot is, a fantastic move.
Yeah, of course. Charlotte celebrates the win, and there are replays. Enzo and Cass come out on the stage. Enzo is furious after having his beard shaved earlier.
Yeah.
And he challenges Sylvester Lefort to a hair versus hair match at NXT TakeOver.
That is interesting. I like it.
He says, I will put this mohawk up. He hasn't got a mohawk. He just says, I'll put my mohawk up, which is weird. I'll put my mohawk up against whatever you've got on your head, is what he says. And actually, it's like being in Mexico, isn't it?
It's like being in Mexico.
Hair versus hair and mask versus mask are very popular.
Yeah. Okay.
That sort of stuff.
I feel like this is brilliant.
If he's going to change his name to El Hijo del Enzo Amore.
I feel like it's a great way of getting a different sort of match on the card.
Yeah.
They are... And also getting them on the card in the first place, because they deserve to be there.
Yes.
Because of their character work, and, you know it's going to be an entertaining match. You know it's going to be a short match.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a break up from, say, the serious wrestling of having, titles on the line and stuff.
Yeah. And I agree with that point, actually. I didn't really think of it in that way, but it is a clever way to get them on the card and expose them to that wider audience who might not necessarily watch NXT week to week.
Yeah.
But are going to watch NXT TakeOver because it's a special. and actually just to present those guys
as big deals.
As big deals.
Yeah, as big things on the brand.
But without having them in ring, because they are there as a team who don't necessarily win a lot of matches. So actually that's a great point.
Having him against someone like Cedric Lefort, as
Sylvester Lefort.
Oh my god.
Respect
the name. Me with fucking names.
He's not even Japanese.
I say Cedric Lefort, fucking hell. Sylvester, yeah. Great way of doing it.
Yeah.
Great way of doing it. You can almost see the cards starting to come together, and you can almost predict what the card is going to be.
Yeah.
Now.
And I'm excited for the card. I think the card looks great.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I can't wait to watch this.
I think the card looks really good. They discussed the first round action from the NXT Tag Team #1 Contendership Tournament last week. Mojo being attacked by Bull. Speaking of Mojo, can he find his? He's in action right now. He's facing Cutler, who I have to say, great shape, great look. Surprised he doesn't do more at this point in time. He is a bit plain though, isn't he? But also, mate, I'm not being funny. He was in the Marine Corps. Put him in the Marine.
Yeah.
Have him come out, Solid Snake, get him to do a salute. That was his character.
Yeah.
Serve John well for 10 years.
He could be NXT's next John Cena.
He could. He's not going to be, but he could.
No, he could have been if they played their cards right. He's one of those guys, a bit like Angelo Dawkins on this podcast, who at the moment they're there to be serviceable wrestlers and they're competent wrestlers.
They're there to learn.
You don't need to worry about them too much at the moment. You just want to get them TV exposure. You just want them to have as many matches as possible. There's no pressure for them to actually suddenly get this massive push and be in the spotlight.
For sure.
But everyone knows that they're there as, as enhancement talent.
Yeah. Mojo fires off, but Steve Cutler hits a nice clothesline for a 1. Mojo's fierce. He hits a splash in the corner, and again, hip attack and a hyperdrive for a 3. Better aggression this week. Bull's definitely having an effect on him.
Yeah.
Mojo does cut a really nice promo here. A really nice promo. He shows really good fire, and he says, the smiles are gone. You're about to find out what hype is. He still can't drop the hype thing, but no. He does cut a very intense promo, and he does say, look, you shit.
You can't help but stick it in between us referencing though, can't you?
Look, you shit. You bumder. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. And actually, I like that. I liked it. It's good...
Great intensity.
Great intensity, yes. For a man with lots of intensity, he normally doesn't use it very well. So
it's directed intensity.
Yes, it's directed intensity.
It's not directed. It's scaring little children in the front row this week.
He does actually do that though. I don't know if you noticed, but when he goes on the left-hand side of the ring, he gets out of the ring, and then there's those people in front, and then he goes round the ring. As he goes round the ring, there's like a small girl who's like going back to a seat after going to the toilet or something, or going like getting popcorn. And he's sort of like, he's shouting, he like follows, she's walking and he's also walking. It looks like he's following her. It's quite funny.
It's probably because he's worried that people are leaving going for a toilet break and a popcorn break while he's wrestling. He's like, stay and watch me!
Mate, what a guy.
I'm hyped.
What a guy.
What a man.
We also get another shitty WWE film to look at, and it's Leprechaun Origins, mate. Leprechaun.
I will be so fucking disappointed
Origins.
If Hornswoggle wasn't involved in this film.
He is. He's the main character.
I don't think he is.
He is, I promise you.
He fucking isn't, though. You liar.
I swear to God.
Fucking show me.
I swear to God. Look, cast.
You're fucking joking.
I swear to God. I swear to God, he's the main character.
Is this another one for Alex to watch?
Oh my God. Do you know what the prequel to this film was called?
Oh God.
Leprechaun, Back to the Hood.
No, it wasn't.
I swear to God. This is WWE.
How much did this gross?
Not a lot.
I imagine not a lot.
Well, backpacking through Ireland. Oh, for God's sake.
Is Becky Lynch going to appear at some point?
I swear to God, none of this is made up. While backpacking through Ireland, two couples discover that one country's most famous legend is terrifyingly real.
Oh my god.
Oh my actual god, this is incredible.
Do you know what?
This has, on IMDb, 3.2 out of 10, and it has over 5,600 votes. No fucking way,
Do you know we
dude.
used to miss the Raw Rebound? I quite like the shit movie Rebound now. It's great.
So, who's in this film? Anyone famous? Let's have a look. No one famous, really.
Just Hornswoggle.
Dylan Postal, which is Hornswoggle's real name. This is ridiculous. Oh, okay. Wow, there's a lot of these films. So, this was the 7th film in this. Oh my god, no way! This was the 7th film out of all of these films. So, Leprechaun Back to the Hood was Leprechaun 6. Believe it or not. So this is Leprechaun 7. So, yeah, backpacking through the lush Irish countryside, two unsuspecting young couples discover a town's chilling secret. Ben, Sophie, David and Jenny discover the idyllic land is not what it appears to be when the town's residents offer the hikers an old cabin at the edge of the woods. Soon, their friends will find that one of Ireland's most famous legends is a terrifying reality. Taglines: a horror icon is reborn. This is an 18.
This is madness. Why would you make this film?
Do you want to hear some quotes from the film?
Go on.
Quotes from the film. Sophie says, "Fuck you, Lucky Charms."
Wow.
David says, "Did he just call me a Nancy boy?" And Sophie says, "This is what happens when you take its gold. You have to make amends until the debt has been repaid." This is gash.
Yeah, do not recommend, do not watch.
Do
not pass go, do not collect £200.
This makes the Marine look like fucking Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
So the character of the Leprechaun in Origins is inspired by subterranean mole rats, not by Darby O'Gill's little people like previous films. So despite having very little screen time and no dialogue, star Hornswoggle stated he had never seen any of the previous Leprechaun films, and he has since chosen not to view any, as he wanted his performance to be his own creation without the influence of prior films. When WWE Studios announced they were rebooting the series as a vehicle for actual WWE superstar Hornswoggle, many fans assumed he would be picking up the mantle and buckled shoes vacated by Warwick Davis! Warwick Davis was in it!
Oh, was he?
Ushering in a new era of Wiseacre Ghoul, but the movie revealed that Leprechaun has nothing in common with the series at all. Good lord.
Why?
Now Playing podcast reviewed Leprechaun Origins and has received 3 not recommends. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. So how long? That's gross. It doesn't even say how much it grossed. That says it all, doesn't it?
Dave, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I want to talk about the main event. I've had enough of shit WWE films for this podcast.
Oh, fuck off. The only thing under marketing is WWE Studios' official YouTube channel premiered a clip from the film with an introduction by Hornswoggle in the light of St. Patrick's Day. Oh, God. The critical reception for Leprechaun Origins has been predominantly negative. The film has a rating of 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Cliff Wheatley of IGN panned the film, writing, "Slasher movies of this ilk come with a certain expectation of quality, but even the cheapest, most shoddy productions can manage some sort of thrill or laugh with a memorable character and a cohesive plot. Leprechaun Origins, unfortunately, manages to offer none of these things. Honestly, the scariest bit of this vision is how blatantly stolen most of the scenes feel. The long grass scene from Jurassic Park, The Lost World, or detailed costume rips from Red Clover. But what else do you expect from an unintelligible cash-in, short on reveals, lacking in death scenes, and heavy on infuriating redundancy? Time to go."
Yeah. That's just what I said, mate. I'm not talking about absolute fucking shit films.
It's time to go! Do you know what? Main event, Adam, and we are going to talk about it because I didn't take any notes, I just watched it.
You just watched it?
I just watched it. I just felt like I had to kick back, Smoker J. No, I'm joking. Just had to kick back and just watch it. Because actually, Sami Zayn's great. And Team Lucha are great. So I just sat back and watched it. And I have to say, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Top to bottom. I thought the action was fantastic. The pacing was great. And it was very good. And I think the right team won.
Yeah, I had in my notes, like, this is a match.
Walk us through it then. Walk us through it.
Well, I had probably a few more notes than you, but we have a match here involving 3 wrestlers who can do the lucha style, and Adam Rose is also here.
Absolutely. Agree with that.
Renee warns Byron not to thrust his hips at her during Adam Rose's music.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, commentary do that. To be honest, it's the only thing they've done that's really bad. The commentary's been generally pretty decent, like, throughout this. I feel like these Sammy chants are getting louder every week.
Let's go, Sammy!
Yeah, like, they're really getting, behind him. And the commentary just keeps saying, Luchadors. Is this the team? Is this the team?
Is this the team? That is a genuine question. Is this the team?
Is this the team to beat? Because they look fantastic together. I've got here on my notes, I'm not sure what Kalisto did, but it was incredible. This could be like pretty much any moment in the match. It was just solid. Like, I remember when I first got into wrestling, and I used to call the luchador style Mexican flippy shit. But this sort of team have now opened my eyes to the respect that it deserves.
Soon we'll get you onto Vikingo.
Yeah, or the Viking experience. No, wait. Speaking of shit, no, we're not going to go down that line. No. We could be here another 20 minutes if we start talking about shit renames this week. If anyone's listening, knowing exactly what I'm on about, and I've already had the same rant about Walter, so let's just move on from that. There's a great backbreaker on Kalisto from Sami Zayn here. Adam Rose has hardly been in the match, but he's dripping with sweat. How?
Do you know what?
He's hardly been asked to work in this
It normally
match.
happens like under the lights, I think.
Probably just the heat.
Yeah, I think it's like under the lights.
I did put here, he looks like a glistening version of Mason Ryan, but less ripped. Far less ripped. Oh, I miss Mason Ryan.
Question for you. If you could have 2 of these 4 guys compete in car jiu-jitsu, who would you choose?
In car jiu-jitsu.
If you've never seen car jiu-jitsu...
It's literally what it says. It's
YouTube
jiu-jitsu in cars.
YouTube it, it's great. Nothing like seeing a man lock in a fucking armbar over a fucking car seat.
I don't know, I'd quite like to see Kalisto versus Adam Rose.
In car jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Sorry, not Kalisto. Sin Cara.
I don't know if you know this or not, but this Sin Cara is was legitimately heralded as one of the toughest guys in the locker room.
Yeah.
Like, no one would pick a fight with him.
Or Unico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unico
Cara.
Unico was tough as fuck.
Yeah.
There was an incident, I think, where Gotch threw a can of soda at him, hit him in the head, and then they had a legitimate fight, and Unico busted him up.
Why did he throw a can of coke at him?
Something
was said, probably.
They were having an argument, I think, and he threw a can of coke at him, and then Unico literally fucking knocked him out.
Gotch is a tough guy as well. It's not like...
Yeah, he is. He's legit BJJ guy.
Yeah.
And Unico was just no. Unico's legit, as fuck.
Yeah. I would say this match it showcases more the lucha style between Sin Cara and Kalisto, and to be honest, it is an easy match to watch as it goes back and forth, but then the last few minutes are just absolutely frantic.
Yeah.
For a 10-minute match,
yeah,
the ending is very snappy.
The pacing is brilliant in this match, and that's one thing they've done right this episode. There's that move where oh my god, Zayn sends Kalisto off the ropes and then leans down or leans back and puts his legs up in order for him to flip through.
Yeah.
And Kalisto literally goes forward onto his hands and then handstands forwards and then handstands backwards and then head scissors him. Oh my god, it's amazing.
Yeah, Kalisto is an incredible wrestler.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's so good.
Yeah. So basically, after a frantic finish, this match didn't go the typical WWE style, as in, like, you know, we're waiting for a hot tag. There's just bodies everywhere. But basically, it ends with a Salido del Sol and a flying senton, and we do get a win for the team of Sin Cara and Kalisto. Which is expected, to be honest.
Well played, sir. Absolutely. I think that's the right team going forward. I don't think it hurts Zayn, but I think it makes them as a team.
But what I also would say is a brilliant little moment in this match was obviously in that finish was the fact that Adam Rose was the one who got pinned.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn was on the outside and he was literally a whisker away
clawing to get in.
He was a whisker away.
Zayn's always good at that sort of stuff.
Yeah, breaking that pin, which again, it shows his heart and desire.
I have to say, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Sami Zayn at the moment is doing incredible at hyping that match for WrestleMania with
yes, he's doing really well.
Steve-O.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Steve-O,
Johnny
Knoxville.
Knoxville.
They're the same person.
They're not.
Oh my god, he's doing so much good stuff at the moment. Like, his work is incredible. And he's cementing himself, I think, fairly quickly as one of the best guys they've got in WWE. His character work at the moment is incredible. His wrestling is incredible. Like, obviously, we all know he can wrestle, but his character work is amazing. He actually looks like a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, I mean, just everything he's done with, like, this, you know, his beard and his style and what he's done backstage and doing the videos of, like, the conspiracy theories and stuff.
Yeah.
And again, just the work he's doing on Twitter with Knoxville about phone calls and, like,
it's amazing.
FaceTiming and stuff. Honestly, it's all great.
In the release of the Batman, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but in the release of the Batman, he even looks a bit like Paul Dano's the Riddler, just that close up to the camera, like, going mad, sort of. It's like that sort of work is amazing. He's done so well. But yeah, overall, I think that was a good 2 shows, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And who's your star of the show? I know mine straight away, Kalisto.
I hadn't really given it much thought, to be honest. Mainly because, again, I watched these in a block, so I've gone through so much. Tyler again. I keep picking Tyler. I'm not going to apologise for it because he's fantastic. He had a great match with Neville. His build to that match was fantastic. Again, like, you know, him having his second match in the second episode with Tyson Kidd and still carrying on that character. It all adds to this build we're finally getting for this match. We're going to have a takeover.
Yeah. Agreed. It's got to be Kalisto for me. Kalisto's been sensational.
Yeah.
So, you can find us on social media. Twitter at NXTBTTF. Facebook, facebook.com/NXTBTTF. TikTok, YouTube, whatever. You can find all of our links on our link tree, which is in our Twitter description. And actually, yeah, all that good stuff. You can find us over there. Twitter, probably the best place to find us, at NXTBTTF. As I say, all our links are in the description, so make sure you check those out. Interact with us on social media. If you want us to, I don't know, if you want us to do anything, let us know. It's probably the best way to do so.
If you want Dave to sing an intro or some music, let you know.
Exactly.
If you need a rendition of, you know, James Blunt for your phone, just as a ringtone, I'm sure me and Dave can sort that out.
Bit of a songbird. Eva Cassidy was that her name? Whatever she was called. I'm a bit of a songbird. But
Eva Cassidy, not Katie Melua.
But we would love to hear from you. If you could spare the time to leave us a review, that would be amazing. We would absolutely really appreciate that. It really helps differentiate us from all of the other wrestling podcasts out there, and we like to think we do something a little bit special and a little bit unique. I don't think there's anyone else doing the sort of thing we are doing. So, of course, if you could do that, that would be great. You can join us next week for episode 59 for a brand new NXT General Manager. The Ascension send a message ahead of the Tag Team Tournament Finals. Bayley says she is ready to become the NXT Women's Champion. Kid and Breeze face Zayn and Neville. Alexa Bliss tries her luck against Charlotte. Ty Dillinger is back to face Tyler Breeze. Tag Team Tournament Finals, and Enzo and Cass get a new friend. All that and so much more. But for now, from me, Dave,
and me, Adam,
we are going to enjoy the rest of our weekend. You take care.
Bye.